Hello and welcome to Townhill Junction. This is my first unboxing video. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to make half of this up as I go along, so feel free in the comment section to tell me what I should have been saying or what else you would like to see. Moved into a new house, so at the moment we've just got a test track set up. COVID put an end to my loft plans, where we're going to hopefully get the layout up and running. But we do have some locos that we've had over the last few months and stuff that I've had since I was a kid. It's the first time really getting back into it as a hobby. So the first member of the fleet, first unboxing, is the ScotRail Class 170. It's a 3-car diesel multiple unit, and this one's in the ScotRail livery. My layout's hopefully going to be based around a kind of fictional Fife area, around what would have been Townhill Junction. It's still in use, but the junction's all the way and it's just part of the Fife Circle line now. And that's where the inspiration for the name came from. The ScotRail Class 170 is a turbostar. This one in the brand new ScotRail Saltire livery. Whilst this one has a first ScotRail sticker on it, because this model came out back in about 2011. It's a Bachmann branch line model railways model. So a little bit older than some of the stuff we're going to be running in the fleet, but still completely current and up to date. The ScotRail Class 170s were built in Derby. Bombardier, I think is the company that, I don't know how to say it, but that's the company as it is now. There was 139 of these units built. The ScotRail ones are all part of the refurbished fleet. They used to have 45, but they're going to settle at the moment. They're looking at about 37 are going to be remaining post-COVID, and they're going to be running on multiple lines. Fife Circle, the one near us, but they also do Edinburgh to Aberdeen, they do down to North Berwick, they also do the Borders lines and cover a lot of Scotland. They're also in operation with cross-country, Transport for Wales, East Midlands and Northern. All the Scottish ones tend to be 3-car sets, but 3 is the most popular. In Scotland you'll often see them coupled with a Class 158 to make a 5-car set. There's no ScotRail liveried 158s in the modern livery anyway, currently out, but that's something we'd maybe look to add to the layout in the future. The problem with doing a 5-car set by a 158 is that you can't move between the front of these trains and into the 158s. So to solve that in the newer additions, like the 385s, which are the new electrical units, they've got doors that are going to be right at the front in the cab, which cause them some design problems, trying to design to have a passageway right through the middle of the cab. Whereas these don't have that problem. It does mean the guard has to get off the one end of the train and then board the next set of 3 or 2, depending how they're coupled up. There's talk of, instead of running the big local hauled MK2 trains, ScotRail coaches, that they're going to run 6-car 170s, so 2 back to back, but the guard will have to get on and off each end. They can do 100 miles an hour. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get into the box and have a look at what we've got. So let's have a look at the box. It's second hand, as you can see by some of the marks. It's not been kept by the previous owner as well as I intend to keep it. But you can see from the front, you can see the 2 displayed. You've got the centre coach there, which I believe is used for the power car on this model. And you've got one of the end coaches at the top with its first class. You can see shining through there in yellow. I'm imagining the third one must be at the back of this big box from Bachmann. It feels sturdy, feels heavy. You can see the end there. And then we've got a brief history telling you about how it was designed and built at the former ScotRail workshops in Derby, and then that's gone through a few hands now. Through this, we've gone into privatisation. The design was used, it was based on the 165 and 166 and 168s. They were the network turbos, and this is a turbostar. There's 6 subcategories. Basic specifications of engine, lengths, trains, transmission and stuff are the same. But the difference is more the seating arrangements and how they've been put together and how many coaches and all that stuff. And at the end, we've got the number. Let's turn it on its side so you can read it. Bachmann code 32467, class 170/4, 3-car DMUs, Transport Scotland, Saltire livery. And that's because the Scottish Government have said we want the same livery no matter which private operator is operating it. So if we open this up on this end, and as we can see, we've got 3 boxes here. I'm going to slide them out. That's always the fun bit when you watch these videos. And put the main power car there. You can tell by the weight that's what it is, which is the centre coach. And put that there. And we've got the two ends. One there, and the other one going the other way there. So we'll move this out of the way. That's just a bit of foam, which makes you feel like there's more in the box than there is. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a quick review of one of the power cars, well, dummy power cars in this case, and then we'll have a look at the centre coach itself. So here's the centre car, and it's in quite a big cardboard packaging. I'll just slide this out. You can see it's completely wrapped in plastic. I never like stuff wrapped in lots of plastic, but when it's your model trains you're paying the price you are, it definitely keeps it safe. So if we slide it out, this almost presentation sleeve that keeps it all together, keeps all the dust off. We've then got this unit here, and you can see the colour is fantastic. I do like the ScotRail new livery. Compared to some of the old ones, it's much brighter. Very modern looking. And you can see on this back end we've got one of the exhausts. Each coach in the set has its own exhaust and its own units, and that's the same in real life. Which means when you're running them you get 2 on one side and 1 on the other. So we take it out of the packaging and put it down here a second. And we'll get it out of this. So here we have it. We're going to hold it nice and close to the screen so you can see everything that I'm saying. And hopefully between the sun, which is rare in Scotland, you'll get to see the detail. So you can see the ScotRail logo in the middle, ScotRail Scotland's Railway, and the deliberately off-centre Saltire. I thought it was a misprint the first time I saw it. So we'll start at the back end and we'll work round to the cab at the front. So you can see you've got the double doors, and you've got stuff like the door mechanism buttons that you'd press when you're trying to open the doors. And you see at the top as well, they've got the coach numbers and all the seats. So this is coach A, so I've done quite well opening that one. The wee squares that you see on each of the windows are the no smoking or break glass here signs. In the middle, you've got the guards' lights to let you know when the doors are locked and unlocked. And you've also got, there's a destination board in there, which, whilst it doesn't work on this model, you can get little stickers that will stick over that, little decals. You can see the detail at the bottom is actually quite good when you think this is 10 years old. There is a fair amount of detail on the bottom. Painted items, warning stickers on some of the hatches, fuel cap releases. I don't profess to know much of what all this stuff is in real life. I'm just coming back into the hobby. But it's always good to see all that little bits of detail. If we come to the first class section, we've got a lovely yellow stripe along there to denote it. Nice quiet section if you do ever get the chance to go on one. Wouldn't pay the first class prices. It's expensive enough as it is. And you can see the nice orange stripe right along the top, and then finishing that the Saltire dots beside the cab door. On the roof, if we do that first, you can see there is a good amount of detail. Air conditioning units at the top. You can see there's fans and grills that would allow that to work and get fresh air in. A little bit of detail, rivets around the top. And then at front, you've got the whistle. And a bit more detail there too. So if we come round to the cab at the front, change how I'm holding it. We can see here, a little bit dusty on this one. You've got the running number, 170/4 434. And you can see it's got its lights on there too. Unlike most trains, these ones have the ploughs quite well back. Most of the trains in Scotland run snow ploughs due to inclement weather, but these ones are set back a little bit from the cab, whereas on the 156s and 158s it's right up to the front. You can see details like there's 2 windscreen wipers, and they've got the destination board there. Again, it's an older model, so it doesn't light up, and the lovely yellow paint in the front, just to highlight it against the dark blue, more purple. Sometimes in the light it catches, but again you've got some warning stickers there. And then the couplings, which are very prototypical. You can see them at the front there, and I think they're just for decoration. I don't think these ones come off. There is a coupling in there, as you can see. It's not spring loaded, but there's a screw, so we can take that off if need be. So that's the forward running cab coach. Getting a bit of glare off the sun. I'm going to take the centre coach, and the first thing you notice is how heavy this is. Much heavier. I'll maybe do a weight thing and show you the difference in weights. If we slide this out the box, nice presentation boxes. The Bachmann always do nice presentation boxes. And we can see again it's got the sleeve. Let's slide it out. Much tighter this one. Like that. Out the way. And here we have the centre coach. So a lot of the trains don't run with these, they just run with the 2 either ends. They don't have this centre coach. Most of the ones around here, all the ScotRail ones, are the 3 coach variants. And you can feel the weight of that. It's much heavier. Good length, feels realistic. The problem with having the motor in the centre car in this one, unlike some of the rail track and modern models, there's no seats in this coach. If you look at the front ones, you can see there is seat detail. The glass is darkened a little bit, so it's hard to see. But when you put lights in there, you'll be able to see it fairly well. And it's fairly prototypical. You can see the seats and tables and some of the void areas that you would have in real life. Whereas this, you can just about see as the light's sitting there, you can see the big motor. And that's where the darkened glass actually probably helps you here. Again, a fair amount of detail on the bottom, nothing too flimsy, so don't mind picking it up like this. And a little bit of painted detail there again. The nice stripe along the top. This coach B, centre coach. Again, you've got the air conditioning vents along the top. If we look at the ends of the coach, you can see there is a bit of detail. It's got double doors, which I don't know if you can just see. Which again, you would have, and they'd be electrically operated on all the refurbished ScotRail trains. You press the button and they both slide open. A little bit of detail in terms of warning stickers, coach information that stick. So that's running car. So what we need to do now is get it on the test track. It's just a loop, but we'll get it and see how it runs. So here we are. We're going to check some of the weights. Now, here's my girlfriend's lovely electronic scales, which is much easier. But oh la la, isn't it lovely? Here's one of my oldest coaches. It's an old GNAR coach. If you are looking for them, maybe message me. I might be interested to part with it. It's not something I'm intending to run a mile out. But it's a lovely old MK3 with the old slamming doors. It comes in about 148 grams, and we're going to use that as our comparison today. I was looking at other videos and other blogs, and something somebody kept asking was, what are the weights on some of these things, to see how they would go around. Obviously heavier trains have a bit more traction, and help you going around the layout. So make sure we're set to 0, and we're going to put in one of these front coaches with the cabs. So that's coming in about 177 grams, so a bit more than your MK3s, but still very, very light. And again, because of their age, that's what you'd expect, and it's not got no power in this one. So if we swap it for the centre coach, which we use for the power, we're expecting it to be much heavier. Just see those double doors. Let's just bounce it out on the wheels, get it on the bogies. It's only just big enough to get one of these coaches on. And we're coming in at 427 grams. So you're looking at and that's with the motors right in that centre section here. And you've got electronic motors over each of the bogies, which lets you do the power, and the main drive motors in that centre part of the coach there. So here we have us on the test track. So we've just got a simple loop and a little siding there. It's not quite where we wanted to be at this time of the year, but we were always trying to get the loft done so we could get Townhill Junction started for real this winter. That's the aim, and that might still happen. We'll just have to see how busy all the DIY stores are over the coming weeks as we start to come out of lockdown here in Scotland. So as you can see, she sits on the tracks and looks absolutely gorgeous, and looks quite cliche. The roof, you can see, looks a bit plasticky, a bit grey, but for the age of the model I think she looks pretty good. You can see the three there, and you can see the two exhausts on this side, and there's one on the other side, which you can just see poking out here. You'll see that as it comes round. The magical hand of railway god. And again, you see much better here now that it's on the track. You can see this saltire swish going round the front. It does have running lights. I did have a go at them. They're quite faint on this model, and it is quite a sunny day. I'll run it and you can have a look, and then if you've got one yourself and you think, no, that's needing a bit more of a clean, I'm not sure how long this model's run for. It is second hand, but we'll hopefully give it a bit of run over the next few days and run it in a wee bit, and hopefully that will clear some of the dirt and the grime. So we're ready to give it a run. It's a DC model, being a bit older. The aim is to have a full DCC layout once we get the layout put together. But just now we're using our old R965 train controller, old Hornby that I had when I was a kid. I've got a couple of these from when we used to run a couple loops back at my dad's loft. So we'll have a go at running her. Putting a bit of power. Moving away fairly okay. Wee nudge. And away she goes. Again, from a second hand, a bit old. So with a little bit of power through the station. I've got more in boxes somewhere, but we'll probably start making our own. You can see at low power she's running pretty well for a model that's probably been in a box for a couple of years. With the power car being in the centre as well, she runs fairly smoothly. So she's not hauling, she's hauling and pulling the equal weight at the same time. Bit of a squeak, but we'll have to lube up and fix. As you can see, those lights aren't quite working yet, so a bit more power. You can just see the lights starting to show now. Let's see if we can get the camera to focus on it enough that you can see it. Knows the answer. Here's my first go at this, so we're going to crank her up to full power. Sure, you'll be telling me that this soon out the box, don't run it for too long. See, the lights are starting to come on now a bit better, and she's got directional lights as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring her to a stop. So she comes round again. You can just see the lights shining. I might have to get myself a new camera. This is not quite picking it up as the train moves round, but that's something we can work on. Again, any comments, thoughts, advice, completely welcome. The last time I was really playing with trains, I must have been
in primary school in my dad's layout. And recently my uncle's just moved house and he's just bought himself a massive shed to build his. But with lockdown, we've not seen how he's progressing. But he's a real kind of expert in the family. It got me thinking, why can't I do some of the same? I'm going to bring her to a stop now, just in front of us. Stopped a bit abruptly. But we're going to get her to go anti-clockwise around the circuit, and we should see, very, very carefully, you might see a bit of red light. We do have the sun coming in, so you might not, but we'll give it a go. Again, we're needing a wee bit nudge to the hand of God. Track's pretty new, so I think it's more just the train just getting rerun again. So she does have two rear lights that light up, 2 LEDs, and then she's got 3 in the forward motion. So you've got the two headlights and then the one top light. That thing. So we're gonna look here, and you can just see the lights as we're coming through this dark spot, just in the shade. What we'll do is we might try this again with some darkness. So she comes round here into the shade here. You can start to see those 3 lights a bit better. Got 2 headlights and then that lovely top light just shining away. They're getting a bit brighter as the train's running, so I think it is probably more just a bit of dust. Again, if anyone has any tips on how to clean the contacts or check the wiring to make sure she's all nice and good, I'd expect them to be a bit brighter. But if you've got one of these and say nope, they are pretty not very bright when you're running them in DC, then that'd be great. Give me that advice. So I'm going to run the other way, and we're going to see if you can see some of these rear lights. They are very, very small. Imagine in the dark they might run a bit better. And again, if you think they should be brighter than that, let me know. So, what do I think of the Bachmann Class 170? Good. The livery's really good. The detail's good for the age of the model. I picked this up for about 150 quid. I've seen them going for up to 200. They are quite rare. And again, nobody's done any recent models since this came out in about 2011. Would consider putting interior lights in, but with that middle car, it does cause you a bit of complications. Had many thoughts of whether I keep running it, convert it over to a simple DCC decoder, or if somebody brings out a Class 158, whether I couple up and make it into one of those 5-car sets and let the 158 do the work. Thanks for spending some time on my YouTube channel on Townhill Junction. This is the start of something that hopefully will keep me busy going after lockdown, and you'll hopefully see the rest of the ScotRail fleet very soon. In the coming weeks, we're still awaiting the arrival of the ScotRail Intercity MK3s, which will hopefully be here in a couple of weeks, and hopefully we can show you them going around the test track sometime soon. Thanks for watching, and thanks for coming to Townhill Junction.